My wife and I were at the Park Avenue Fest. We sat down, had a nice lunch together, and it looked like it was getting ready to rain. So we rushed back to the car.
We got in the car, and as I sat down, my head kind of slooped over to the side of the window.
Then she turned back and she tried to speak, but her speech wasn't very clear at all.
And that's when I realized that I couldn't say what I was thinking.
So I said, let's just go straight to the emergency unit right now.
And we headed toward Strong. As I said, it was a rainstorm. It was one of the worst in Rochester. Trees had actually fallen down. And every road he went down, a tree was down. And we would have to back up and go down another street.
So I had to find alternate routes to get to the emergency room. When I finally got there, I had to go park the car. So Shawn got out and went inside herself, standing in line.
Fortunately for me, there was an angel, a nurse who walked in, and she knew immediately something was wrong. She grabbed a wheelchair, took me in the back, and I remember her yelling a code of some kind. And by the time we got in the back, there were all these doctors and nurses, and they were waiting just for me.
The doctor wanted to know what time the stroke occurred because he wanted to see if he can administer a medication to her because he had to know the exact time as closely as possible.
And at that time, I didn't know anything about what to look for in a stroke and why time was so important. So the doctor then explained the time situation and said, that we were still within that window, but we were close, and we needed to make a decision fast. I remember looking over at my husband, and the only word I could get out was kids, because I needed my children to know what was going on. He did that. He picked up the phone and called the family immediately, and we both looked at each other and nodded, take the medicine. Within 30 minutes of taking it, my speech began to come back. The clot that had taken over in my brain and caused that stroke began to dissolve. The doctors told me that there's many things that cause a stroke. One being if you're overweight. Another one being your lifestyle in terms of eating habits, lack of exercise, high blood pressure, just everyday stress. All of those things contribute to strokes. I want my community to understand the warning signs of a stroke. Face, arms, speech, and time. When someone's having a stroke, every minute counts. Call 911 right away. I was fortunate, but I don't want you to end up not being able to speak, not being able to walk, or leaving this earth too early. Know the signs of a stroke. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.